One of my favorite genre of films is the remake of Le Samouraï film. If you don't know, Le Samouraï is a film directed by Jean-Pierre Melville, and it kind of reinvented the stoic, hard-boiled, in this case, assassin. The same year, Branded to Kill came out, and it's very, very similar, and it actually came out prior to this, so I guess, you know, that one actually has the title first. But this is definitely the more iconic film, and many, many filmmakers try remaking or using the ideas of Le Samouraï and putting them in different situations, such as John Woo in The Killer, and in this is directly inspired by Le Samouraï, and he is open about it. He doesn't hide it. If you get the criterion in the literature, John Woo talks about, you know, the film and how much of it's inspired, and a lot of sequences or ideas are just pulled directly from it. But another one of these films, and the subject of today's video, is the 1978 Walter Hill classic, The Driver, starring Ryan O'Neal. I only know Ryan O'Neal from Paper Moon and Barry Lyndon, and I've seen this film before. This is my second time I watched it. The first time I watched it on my computer, and again, it was on a computer, so like a 13-inch screen, so it wasn't really that great, right? Because I watched it on a small screen, and I liked it, of course, but I didn't love it. But this second time around, and with this StudioCanal release, which I am in love with, the visuals were so good, the resolution was amazing, and it gave me a newfound appreciation of said film. And again, this is purely inspired by Le Samouraï. I don't know if I ever heard Walter Hill say that, but there's too many similarities for it not to be. First of all, the Minimalist, right? So if you look right here, it has a quote by Edgar Wright saying, "A diamond-tight minimalist masterclass, sorry." And I'll talk about Edgar Wright a little later on. But that's this right here. You know, this is the original minimalist masterclass. You know, everything Melville did is like that. Everything, you know, if you look at Le Cercle Rouge or the Shadow, the Army of Shadows, very minimalist. Very, very more minimalist than this, for sure, because this is a race, you know, not a race, but it's a chase film. The whole film is built on these set pieces of getting away, and I have another film talk about that as well. But yeah, so this is you know, if you don't think this is a Le Samouraï pseudo remake, you know, I'm not gonna go through all the similarities. I guess I'll rapid fire. You got this stoic, ruled, you know, very rule-based driver. He makes these keys that can, you know, break into cars very easily. Kinda love interest in it. There's a lineup, which is, well, in this film it's only him, and people are asked if they're him. You know, it's oh, is this the person you saw type stuff. But it did it from, you know, there's that here, but in this film they also do that, but that's purely inspired by John Huston, Asphalt Jungle, which Melville wanted to play homage to that film, to John Huston. But yeah, there's many, many other things, but specifically that stoic, that very competent professional is very similar between all the Le Samouraï remakes, especially, you know, if you look at Way of the Samurai, right? The Forrest Whitaker, Jim Jarmusch film, Ghost Dog, right? That's a Le Samouraï remake. But I don't want to keep talking about that, but because this film has so many merits on their own. Now I'm going to talk a little negatives before I go into my super positives. So my two negatives, I would say, is first, the music. I don't know the composer's name, but it says Michael Small. If that's him, I'm not sure. but I did not like the music. Now, most of the film doesn't have music. Most of the film, especially during the chase scenes, all you hear is the road, the rubber, and the sirens. That's all you hear, and it's beautiful. But when they're doing some music, it feels very dated. Now, the composer, if it is Michael Small, did other 70 noirish films, such as Clute, Parallax View, and Night Moves. All great films, all in the Criterion Collection as well. So I definitely have heard his stuff before, but those are very, very noir-based films, especially Clute and Night Moves. Those are noir pieces, they're echoing the 1940s, 50s noirs. While this is technically neo-noir, but it is very much hard-boiled, and it doesn't feel like those noirs from the 40s and 60s. It's just hard-boiled 70s fiction. It's very modern, even though they keep calling the driver a cowboy, right? And he listens to country music, right? But he is the story and the setting is very, very 1970s, contemporary. The cops are, corrupt, like, say, the people from the French Connection, very Popeye Doyle coded. But yeah, the music's not that good. It's not that good. And Ryan O'Neal, he really perplexes me, because I think it's deliberate, because when he's not talking, it is, he's such a wonder to look. I know he's a great actor. Paper Moon, he's phenomenal in, right? Phenomenal. But in this, when he talks, I think it has to be on purpose. It's very blunt and deliberate, and delivered kind of not well. Now I can accept that, because the guy doesn't talk much, right? So when he does talk, he's not really well versed in it. So maybe that's it. But like his line delivery, sometimes it wasn't that great. But again, it's hard-boiled. He doesn't talk like at all. I think he has like 10 lines in the whole film. When he's not talking, he has amazing presence on the screen, and you believe he is the driver. Now, in short, this film is about the driver and the detective. And the driver, he's been working for a while, and the detective really wants to catch him, played by Bruce Dern, and he is probably the greatest performance in this. Bruce Dern is amazing. I love him. I wish there was a whole film about him. And he's really, like I said, very, very similar to Popeye Doyle from the French Connection, where yes, they are working for the good guys, right? They are cops, right? And they are catching criminals. The driver is a criminal. They rob. He helps robbers, right? But the methods to the police is very corrupt, very wrong. And I'm not spoiling the movie, but not really ethical, right? So you got the driver here, and he's just a getaway driver, right? So if you like films like, say, Drive, right? So Nicholas Brevin, right? I've never heard him say it. I don't watch all the reviews or interviews, but he's got to be inspired by Drive. He claims he's not inspired by Thief, but he has to be inspired by Drive. But yeah, so he's just a getaway driver. He drives, and he gets money up front and some back end stuff. Very simple story. Like I said, minimalist masterclass. There's this girl who is named the Player, who does see him, but he pays off, or someone pays her off to not say anything to the cops. And again, showing the corruption of the cops. We see, again, not a lineup, it's I guess another negative, where like in a cut, the cop has already, or the detective has already apprehended Ryan O'Neal's character, and they don't do it at the police station. They're doing it in like a brick, like rundown, like building with a light on him. Again, very corrupt cops. and he is intimidating all the witnesses, and they're all saying they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. And then it lands on the player, the woman, and she's like, I don't know. And she was on the take, right? He gave her some money, or someone gave her some money to say that. And the cop, most of the film is the cop trying to plan a way to catch the driver, and him talking to his fellow detectives. And he has a high horse. He's like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, you're not anything. He thinks he's Dirty Harry or Popeye Doyle, which Popeye Doyle is not a great cop, but he thinks he's Dirty Harry or like a great cop. And his other cop or his partners are like, this is wrong, you shouldn't do this, you better catch the guy. If you don't catch the guy, I'm calling you in, I'm telling the higher ups. And he's like, you won't tell anybody, because if you do, I'm gonna ruin your life. Again, Bruce Dern is not a good guy, and it's great. So yeah, that's pretty much the story, right? It's a cop versus robber film, and you're gonna watch this film for the driving, and I'll tell you guys, that stuff still holds up today. Now, is it as flashy as, say, Drives or another one I have here, Baby Driver? No, it's not as flashy. You know, if you're used to watching Fast and the Furious, no, it's not like that. But it's so real and grounded, and it's exciting, right? It's very exciting. You're on the edge of your seats. You're watching like, oh, how is he going to get out of this one? Or how is he going to catch them this time? It's really great. Walter Hill and his team did an amazing job with that car race scenes. And I'm pretty sure people are still watching this and learning from this. If you like, say, films like Bullet or The Friends of Eddie Cohen or even The French Connection, that are 1960s and 70s films that are known for chase scenes, this is right there with them. This should be in the same breath. Now, do I think it's as good as those films? I definitely don't think it's as good as French Connection, but Friends of Eddie Cohen, Bullet, heck yes, this is in the same conversation as those in rating. I think I gave this one a 4.5 stars on my Letterboxd, and it's basically because of the driving, you know, and Bruce Dern and the cop storyline. It's very compelling, right? And you just like the driver enough. Right? You like the driver enough. You don't learn too much about him. You don't have feelings for him. He doesn't fall in love with anybody. It's not like this tragic story where he's trying to get the money for some, girl he just met and whose husband who just got out of jail, and they gotta, give her money to survive. Nothing like that. No melodrama. Straight up hard-boiled fiction about hard men and some hard women just doing the job to get the job done. Like I said, Bruce Dern, he does prove himself to be a great detective. He is better than most detectives. Like I said, in a cut, he's already caught the guy. So the driver's already on Bruce Dern's radar. And the way it ends, it's not really in his control, right? He has the driver in check, right? But something happens that doesn't let that go his way. I guess a little spoiler. But yeah, Walter Hill's The Driver. I haven't seen too many Walter Hill films. I known him as a screenwriter. He wrote the Sam Peckinpah film, talking about Steve McQueen, The Getaway, which is a Jim Thompson adaptation. Great film if you haven't seen it before. Again, 1970s New Hollywood. Sam Peckinpah, Wild Bunch, amazing films. He kind of co-wrote Alien, right? He picked up the Dan O'Bannon script and rewrote it. So he's technically the creator of Alien as well. Again, modern film influence, Drive, which also is an influence from The Samurai, but in this case, let's say this film, and this would have benefited some of that, synth music, maybe not synth, but that kind of style, because it's Walter Hill style is very similar to Michael Mann's style. So a couple years later, you would have Thief, and Thief is kind of playing off this kind of film, this style, this type of hard man, which you can also say Thief is in the family of La Samurai films. Also, Manhunter is also in that family as well. But I think it would really benefit from that. Also, when I first watched this, I had this opinion where, oh man, Michael Mann was right. You really need to water down the streets. And I said to myself, this film would have been better. Watching it on a bigger screen, I do see some of the streets are watered down. But I'm like, man, Michael Mann took that idea and just ran with it. So yeah, this film, I don't know, would it have been better if Michael Mann would have directed it? I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't want to insult Walter Hill like that, because he is a wonderful director and a screenwriter. He was like the godfather, or one of the godfathers of action screenplay for America. But yeah, Drive, very driver coded, and obviously this film is a little controversial nowadays, but Baby Driver now. The Driver, Baby Driver. The Driver carries a little Walkman type thing and plays country music. And in the first scene, he parks and he listens to his music and then drives off. Like, you can see the DNA. Baby doesn't talk much. He's a getaway driver. All these obvious one for ones. But yeah. The Driver is a phenomenal film. If you haven't seen it, I do believe you, because this film is very difficult to get legally in the States. I don't even think you can get a digital, buy it digitally, right? So I had to resort to getting a, European copy, and luckily the 4K disc comes with special features, so I don't have to worry about the Blu-ray. But it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap. This is probably one of the most expensive 4Ks or films in my collection that I paid for, with this kind of packaging. Walter Hill's The Driver. What do you think about it? Have you seen it? Will you watch it again? Is it better than The French Connection? Is it better than all the other chase films? Now, I was thinking about this, and I've never seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds, but is this one of the original films that's you're just watching it for the chases, right? The Bullet has a fantastic chase scene, right? French Connection has a great chase scene. The Friends of Eddie Cohen has a great I think at least one great chase scene. I have to rewatch it. This is a full film of chase scenes. I don't know if that happened before. I don't think you get, say, Fast and the Furious without The Driver. I just don't think you do. Again, maybe that original Gone in 60 Seconds is a film full of chase scenes. I've never seen either of them. I've never seen the Nicolas Cage or the original. But yeah, guys, great film. Highly recommend. I love it. I'm definitely going to rewatch this again very soon. It's a very short film, but like 90 minutes with ease all day. StudioCanal did a phenomenal job. I love the transfer, and I love this packaging. Like, look at that. Like, this is what this is great, moody atmosphere, like artwork, but this isn't the music, right? This is like if the film came out in the 80s, right? This is the Miami Vice of the Driver, but the music's nothing like that, right? And I will say Los Angeles looks beautiful in the film. I had to look it up, like, where was this filmed? Like, it is beautiful. You're seeing the streets, you're seeing the skyscrapers. It's a beautiful film. Most of it's in the dark. I just love it. I couldn't tell you my favorite scene. The opening scene's really good. When he's in the truck chasing the people is very good. Heck, even when Bruce Byrne is running after one of the criminals on the train, that was really good, really suspenseful stuff. Yeah, just overall great film. I would give this a 4.5 stars. It's definitely a Kino film. Sorry if that's cringe. Sorry if that's not good. But yeah, The Driver, Walter Hill, absolutely recommend. Pick it up, watch it. Let me know what you think about it below. If you don't know already, I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment. Thank you so much for watching. I highly appreciate it. If you want to see more film videos like this, like Driver, I got several others. I went through a Coen Brothers things last year. Check it out. The latest one is The Big Lebowski. If you like The Driver, you probably like the Coen Brothers. And I do a bunch of things. I do comic books. I'm going to do some anime stuff. I do a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff on this channel. So please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you want to see more of what I do. And give this video a thumbs up. They boost my confidence and you truly mean it. And comment down below your favorite Walter Hill film. Again, I haven't seen too much. Obviously, the big Walter Hill film that I haven't seen is The Warriors. And I really need to see that film. I really do. But I don't know when. I don't know when. The Arrow sale just ended. And if I picked it up, it would have been online. I just didn't want to do that. I want to find all my Arrow films in person. I used to see it all the time, but now I don't. But I need to check out The Warriors because it's supposed to be amazing. And I think it's the film he did right before The Driver. But it's very different, I believe. So yeah, if that's your favorite one, comment down below. I'm very interested. I have seen actually his Bruce Willis film, Last Man Standing. Again, that's a pseudo remake of Yojimbo. It's a Yojimbo remake. So again, if people think I'm crazy saying The Driver is a loose remake of La Samurai, he basically did a 1-for-1 remake in Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis. But anyway, with that being said, I can ramble on forever. Oh, I also saw his Wild Bill film, and I think because they used that story so much in Deadwood, they gave him a writing credit for that first couple episodes at least, I think. I don't know, but that was all right. That was an alright film. But anyway, yeah, guys, I can keep going. Things are going to pop up in my head. So again, I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment saying, go watch The Driver.